Welcome back to Money Rocks. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Where are all those jobs? Turns out there's one group that's doing just fine while the rest of us suffer. It's federal workers. From January 2008 to January 2010, private sector jobs plunged. Private sector jobs, let me read that again, plunged 115 million to 107 million. Meanwhile, federal, state, and local public employment went up from 22.3 million to 22.4 million. This is all panel. This is just us. Kubi, here's a situation where the private sector is being squeezed out because the government sector is becoming so big, but that's okay with you?
Actually, first of all, I didn't catch the part about us suffering. I mean, we're not suffering.
Well,
you people maybe so. We're
well,
not.
there's 14.
We're doing fine.
There's 14.6 million people out of work right now. They're suffering.
The increase was only 100,000 more, and I just view that as the private sector was laying people off, the census, state, local, and federal government started to try to pick up the slack to make sure people had jobs instead of unemployment compensation. What's the problem with it?
Go ahead, Beau.
I got the problem right here.
Oh, okay.
The average federal worker that retires is about $160,000. The average private sector person is around 70. I'm just giving big average numbers. The fact of the matter is we have a problem in America. We have a deficit that keeps on going. Where we could save money if they only cut 15% of the retirees of the federal government for 10 years, that would save up to $40 billion. These are numbers that are real. So, I mean, we have to all pull our belts in. We're having problems.
Okay, so we tell the civil servants out there, you know, put out our fires, police our streets, pick up the garbage. Okay, be the FBI agents, do all this hard, dirty work. And then when it comes time for you to retire, what we're going to do is say, sorry, we didn't invest prudently, so we're going to screw you.
Listen, hold on. Let me go through these, Jackie. I'm going to ask you about this. If you break it down, private or federal, look at the difference. If you're a private clergyman, you make 39 grand. If you go federal, you make $70,000. If you're a cook, you make 23,000 bucks in the private sector. In the public, 38. 58 for landscape architecture in the private, 80 grand in the federal. They're being paid 45% more, and they have job security and better benefits.
The government pays themselves more than the people in the private sector. It's like the guy that's the accountant in the fraternity house. All of a sudden, he's going to Florida on vacation. How's he afford it? They got the kitty.
Go ahead, Gary.
They have the hands on the kitty.
When you're growing up, how do you spend your parents' money? And then when you have your own money, how do you spend it?
Right.
This is other people spending money, and that's what happens.
But
problem is,
money.
We're in a mess now. We're in a mess in America. We owe $13 trillion.
Hang on.
Take this deficit.
Problem is, the private sector, people are working, paying their taxes to pay federal employees.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Okay, but the federal employees, and we're confusing a lot of things. If we're talking about federal, state, and local employees.
Fine, whatever.
Okay,
we're still paying.
Right, we are. That's right. These are the people that keep our city running. These are the people who are never going to get rich. Unlike some of us who want to be entrepreneurs.
No, we don't.
The landscaper that's keeping our city running can make $30,000 less.
In the private sector.
3 million
So it's all a
federal
big
workers.
race to the bottom.